The News Hour with Chris Galis.
Good evening. We begin with the hardest evidence yet of just how much the high price of fuel is changing our buying habits and our travel plans. Stats Canada reporting sales of new motor vehicles have fallen for a third straight month. The biggest declines happening in BC and the other western provinces. And BC Ferries reporting that it's also feeling the pinch with both vehicle and passenger traffic down. Aaron MacArthur has our top story.
An entire day without cars. A couple of years ago, this would have been nothing more than a quaint protest. Now, Car-Free Day draws tens of thousands of people, unwilling or unable to pay for the skyrocketing price of fuel. It seems more Canadians are willing to give up the automobile for alternatives. Not too many buyers out kicking the tires at this car lot this morning, and the statistics seem to back up the optics. Canadians are driving less. In April of 2007, more than 147,000 vehicles were sold in Canada. This year, same period, just 143,000. That's a fall off of 2.9%. What's shocking is the sales figures in the strong Western economies. BC car dealers saw 2,000 fewer cars moved in April. That might not seem like a lot, but it's a drop-off of 10%.
I noticed that the downturn was much stronger in Alberta, and that means it's tied to their natural resources industry. Well, we too here in BC are very strong in the natural resources, so there's probably some of that spillover happening here and causing us a reduction.
Despite a ribbon-cutting ceremony launching the new, bigger, higher capacity coastal inspiration, BC Ferries is seeing the effects of revised driving habits too. Not only is the price of gas keeping people out of their cars, it's keeping them off BC Ferries. The ferry company has seen a drastic decline in the number of passengers going to and from the island. Year over year in April, vehicle traffic is down 10%. Passenger traffic is off by almost 15%, and bus traffic down an incredible 17.29%.
I think we're seeing traffic declines in the commercial market as well as the bus traffic, and I think people are going to think twice about taking trips given the high price of gasoline, which has a direct impact on everything.
The new economic reality, at least for the short term, is higher fuel costs. Driving a new car is only going to get more expensive. Same for taking the ferry. Expect a new fuel surcharge to hit your wallet anytime now.
And when you add the high cost of fuel to rising ferry fees and costlier airfares and a stronger Canadian dollar, you can imagine what that can do to tourism in this province. The Industry Association warning in a recent report that the tourism sector is on the brink of a crisis. And while that assessment might seem a little bleak, it does appear that far fewer American travelers are coming to BC, and that is not good news for an industry that is so vital to the BC economy.
With this rain, I feel it. I feel it.
It's a historic day in California. For the first time, the law is allowing gay and lesbian couples to marry. Great news for democracy, but not so good for BC tourism. It's just one more thing to add to the growing pile of challenges that continues to hammer the province's tourism industry.
If we lose the domestic market along with the U.S., we could be in real trouble for the balance of the year.
According to Chemistry Consulting, an independent company which tracks key indicators in the local tourism market, BC's tourism sector is facing a crisis, and there's little that can be done about it given the challenges south of the border.
We're at a record low for U.S. visitation since 1972, so we have a serious structural deficit in terms of travel from the U.S., and 80% of our international visitors come from the U.S. So it's a very severe issue.
Statistics Canada data shows almost 1 million Americans visited BC in the first quarter of 2005. 3 years later, that's dropped by 23%. But it's not just in BC. The number of Americans visiting Canada has plummeted from 44 million visitors to just 27 million.
The crisis in the mortgage issues in the United States, a lot of people are feeling the pinch of that, so they're kind of perhaps putting travel plans on hold. We have the huge increase in gas prices over the last couple of months. That's really put a damper on travel plans for a lot of people, particularly in the kind of the family traveling market.
We've had from the U.S., for example, new requirements, to have passports in order to come come and go in and out of Canada, in and out of the United States, actually. So those are all things that are sort of coming to bear and impacting upon people's decisions.
Hop on, hop off. The best way to see the city.
For now, our American neighbors still make up the biggest chunk of international travelers to BC. But Tourism Vancouver says local businesses need to start looking past the States to other markets.
The euro remains very strong against Canadian dollar, so you have to look into other markets. You have to look into Mexico. Mexico's increases from the Mexican market have been staggering and very, very strong.